How long has it been since you took care of yourself? Whether that means going to the gym, eating the way you want to, hanging out with people that you care about. How long has it been since you took care of you? Weeks? Months? Ever?
Definitely a couple of months in my case. As we are going to talk about in this show, there's ups and there's downs. It's the direction you want to point yourself into determines where the next step is, though.
So today we're going to talk about how changing just 5% of your day can dramatically change your entire life.
But first, this is the Fit Mess, where together we learn to develop habits that help us live beyond our mental health struggles to create happier, healthier lives.
He's Zach. He lives in the future with his anxiety.
He's Jeremy, and he lives in the past with his depression. And we get together once a week in the present to share the obstacles we face and how we overcome them.
Well, Zach, lately, things have not been the normal for you. They've not been routine. You've been struggling a bit, but trying to turn things around. How are things going?
Shitty. Really, really shitty.
Still,
yeah. Back in November, woe was me. I went to Disney,
right?
Which, interrupts your routine. And then I had to, go to Ireland for work. And then while I was there, I didn't sleep well. And then I came home and I got sick. And then I got, it was a really long sickness, right up into the holidays. Mm-hmm. I was sick through the holidays, and then I was almost better. And then I got this wicked, nasty sinus infection that came back. All the while, since November, I haven't been able to really go to the gym. Mm-hmm. I haven't been able to work out. I haven't been moving my body. And then I got into the routine of not moving my body. And then when I was healthy enough to move my body, then I was just straight up lazy about it, right?
Right.
Because the momentum builds on itself.
Yep.
In whatever direction you're pointing it.
Mm-hmm.
And even so, 2 weeks ago, I had a really bad sinus infection to the point where I was like, oh, I think my eye is swollen from this too. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the sinus infection went away and my eye continued to get more and more swollen. And it was a sty in my eye that was just painful. So I can't wear my contacts and I'm wearing my glasses and my eye was half closed all last week. It's just better now. So anyway, I haven't been working out. I haven't been doing all the things that I normally do to take care of myself because I just haven't been feeling good. On top of it, yesterday was probably the first day where I was I'm starting to feel good. I'm starting to feel better. I went to the gym 4 or 5 times or 3 or 4 times this week. And that was enough. I was starting to feel sore and stuff like that. And last night I went and saw Matt Rife and had a couple of drinks before the show and had a couple of drinks after the show. And I don't deal well with hangovers anymore. So 2 or 3 drinks and I'm not feeling well today.
Right.
So I didn't go to the gym today. So I'm just, I'm still struggling to come back.
Yeah,
this is hard.
You're more mess than fit these days. This is not like you. This is not a Zach I've seen in a very long time.
No, absolutely not. But it won't last for much longer. Like I said, I did get to the gym more this week than I have in all the previous weeks since November. Mm-hmm. And I feel good. The prior weeks, I was going into the gym and whatever cardio I was doing was just
brutal.
Killing me.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing me. I couldn't breathe. My lungs were hurting. I was walking out of the gym with that burning sensation in your lungs where you're just oh, that's going to leave a mark. But I didn't get that this week. So it's good. And the sty is almost gone and I can put my contacts back in next week. I hope.
So I think what I'm hearing in this is something that we pretty much hang our hat on here is the idea of like you're talking about, that snowball effect. Whether you're sitting on the couch, it perpetuates more sitting on the couch. Or if you're going to the gym, it perpetuates more going to the gym. I heard in all of that belly aching and whining and crying, I'm starting to feel better along with I'm starting to do things.
Exactly.
That's so key. And I heard somebody talking about this the other day and I've always been looking for the way to quantify it because we always talk about small steps leads to big changes, these sort of big kind of vague things. But what does that mean? Somebody put it into numbers, which I think you'll appreciate. And maybe you guys have heard this before. Maybe I'm the noob here, but I'd never heard this before. They were talking about the fact that there's 168 hours in your week. And no, we all don't have the same 24 hours in a day. That's bullshit. I don't subscribe to that. But I do think that we all have an hour every day, whether it's one complete hour or 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I think we all have that hour. I know that I spend too much of it doom scrolling. I spend too much of it doing things that are not productive. I spend a lot of it telling myself I'll do tomorrow the thing I should be doing today. But if you can find 1 hour in every day to do anything for yourself, that compounds and it adds up to 5%. If you can change 5% of your schedule, you can change your entire life. It's just so powerful when you think of it that way. And again, like I've been going to the gym religiously now for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and just doing that. And that's only, I do that 3 hours a week. I go 3 times, sometimes 4, depending on the schedule, add in some other stuff here and there. But that 1 hour a day snowballs and builds into what else can I do? What book can I read? How can I do this better? What other changes can I make? Where can I fit in some meditation? Where can I fit in some community and like hang out with people and have that social interaction? None of that would be something that I would be pursuing if we were talking about this 4 months ago, before I got off my ass and did one thing different with 1 hour of my day, a few days a week.
And I think it's so funny that you got off your ass just at the point where I was getting onto my ass.
I had to bring balance to the force, Luke. That was the problem here. Is I had to switch it. I could feel it coming. It's like somebody's got to lead the train on this one for a while, and I'm getting tired. So get to the gym.
We'll flip it back. I went 3 times this week alone, and I'm sore. But here's the big thing that I've noticed was by not moving my body, not only was it, like the mental change, right? I was sadder. I was more depressed. I had a lot more negative feelings, and they ran rampant. They ran super easily. But like weird things, like I was starting to get stiff, and like just bending over to tie my shoe was like a challenge, which, I mean, I'm pretty flexible. Like I can just do that with no problem. Again, while I am upset that I like let myself go that far, and I'm really trying to be compassionate with myself, I needed it. I was sick. It was the holidays. It's like, I can't get up and go work out. I needed the sleep. Clearly I needed the sleep. Like, the 4 or 5 hours I normally get was not enough. And I'm trying to be compassionate with myself, but I'm also trying to like remember this and drill it into my brain, because it's been a long time since I've actually felt this way, where the depression, the sadness is there. The anxiety is going rampant. The body aches are there. Like all those things where I'm like, oh, I really do feel 44 years old. I'm really trying to remember that for the future, for the, the one moment I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym today. But remember the pain, remember that. Yep. By doing this little bit of discipline, this little bit of pain, that's only 1 hour of my day, I can do this. And it's going to combat all of those other demons.
I think this kind of relates to what you're talking about. I just had an experience yesterday. My wife's been out of town for a few days, so it's been, I've been in single dad mode, getting the kids to all the things and the school, and simultaneously being on meetings and stuff. Yesterday, I got to a point where I was like, I'm out of time. I don't have time to go to the gym. Like I need to go. Like I need my hour. And I was like, no, I'm going to get it in. I'm just going to do it faster. Like all those breaks that I take between sets, throw them out the window. I'm going to make this happen. Drive over to the gym, realize I don't have the key to get into the gym, drive back. So now I'm down to like 40 minutes to do my 60-minute workout. I'm just like, this is going to suck. But I also know how bad it sucks when I don't. I know that when I let myself off the hook, I'm going to let myself off the hook tomorrow. So I got through it and wanted to die, because I literally squeezed it into like 40 minutes and 20 seconds or something, and like had to get in the car to go get the kids. But the whole time I was remembering, like I started the week 1 session behind. And so I had to make it up. And I was like, if I miss this one, now I've got to go twice on the weekend. That's going to be hell. Cause like you just start mapping out. If you don't hold yourself accountable and do the things you say you're going to do, you're going to pay for it later with your schedule or your health or your time or whatever. And so I had to adjust. And it's funny, because normally I would say, be compassionate with yourself. You don't have time. It'll be okay. You can do it tomorrow. There's that fine line between like letting yourself off the hook and being too easy on yourself. And so that's a tricky one, right? Like I don't know what that line is. I don't know where it is, but I know that because I am doing the things I say I want to do, and because I'm taking care of myself the way I want to, I'm driven more to keep going rather than to lean on it's okay. You don't have to.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right though. And there's such a fine line between I don't want to do this and I actually need a break. and I need rest.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've needed a lot of rest over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
Right.
Like the excuse is gone. Now I just don't want to do it because I'm out of the mode, right?
Right.
So now I need to build it back. And I need to, like, whatever direction we're pushing ourselves into, it's just where we're going to go, right? And if I keep, like you said, if I keep pushing myself towards the couch, is where I'm going to stay. And I'm going to make that dent bigger and the indent bigger, and the couch will be more comfortable.
Yep.
And oh God, now I just want to go sit on the couch.
I'm looking at the couch to my left going, that seems like a good idea right now. I think I want to go do that.
It's been a long day, I got a solid 15, 20 minutes of work in. I should go rest. We've talked about it 100 times though, but like wherever you are, even wherever I am during this whole thing, every single day, I'm like, you're okay. I'm okay. Mm-hmm. Not where I want to be, but I'm okay. Like having that self-compassion is super, super important because there's going to be ups and downs. The name of the show is The Fit Mess for a reason, because sometimes we're fit and sometimes we're pretty messy. And you just got to be able to roll with those punches and be able to not continue down the road of sitting on the couch for the rest of your life. You got to come back from it.
And what you said about just, I'm okay right now. I've been leaning on that heavy these last few weeks. A couple months ago, we interviewed a guy named Nick Hutchison with Book Thinkers, and he was talking about reading more efficiently, getting the most out of personal development books. Something you guys said during that conversation, Zach, you and Nick, were talking about the books you reread. I rarely do this because I rarely get through a book as quickly as I'd like to anyways. But The Power of Now showed up on my list the other day, so I opened it up and was just reading through it again. And there's so much wisdom in that book. If you haven't read that book, go read, just stop listening to us, go read that book. It is so powerful, and it just reminded me so much of paying attention to right now, which is so cliche and dumb, and I know we've all heard this, but like, seriously, in almost any circumstance, no matter how bad it is, right now, you're okay. It's usually the bills we have to pay and the schedule that's the thing I got to do next week, or the customer I got to deal with tomorrow, whatever that stuff is, like right now. And even in those moments when you're dealing with those things, it's not even usually as bad as you're anticipating it to be.
Yep.
So if you can I just want to remind you how much power there is in just being present right now, bringing it back to the breath, paying attention to right now, because whatever happened yesterday and whatever's going to happen tomorrow is not real. Your memory of it is not real. However it's going to play out in your head versus reality, not the same. But right now is real, and it's all you have the power to really experience. Just come back to now, no matter how crappy things seem to be. I mean, I've been leaning on that since I reread that book, just hustling through traffic. If I'm late, it's going to be a problem. If I don't pay this bill on time, that's going to be a problem. If the money I'm expecting from that other person doesn't get here, that's going to be a problem. It always works out. It always does. You always find a way. But it's just that worry, that anxiety, the game you play in your head, trying to convince yourself that you have any control over the past or the future is a fool's errand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on that fool's errand because my brain still seems to think that I can control the future in some way, shape, or form. Thus, I worry a lot. Far too much.
Wasted energy. It's wasted energy. Well, we'd keep talking, but Zach needs to get to the gym, so we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for listening. If this conversation has been valuable for you in any way, if you think anybody else could benefit from hearing it, please do share this episode with them. You are the key to helping us accomplish our goal of helping as many people as possible to overcome the hurdles like the one Zach is facing right now. Thanks again for listening. We really appreciate you being there. We will talk to you again next week at thefitmess.com.
See everyone.
We know this podcast is amazing and doesn't seem to lack anything, but we need a legal disclaimer. Prior to implementing anything discussed in this podcast, it is your responsibility to conduct your own research and consult your physician. You should assume that Jeremy and Zach don't know what they're talking about, and they're not liable for any physical or emotional issues that occur directly or indirectly from listening to this podcast.